Ford finally get their first win with the new Dark Horse Mustang. Brad Keselowski snaps a 110 race winless streak. And yeah, that throwback weekend, the Goodyear 400, it delivered. I do like Darlington, though maybe the reason why I do is because the first Cup Series race that I watched was the one in 2020. The first race back for NASCAR at Darlington, which was won by Kevin Harvick in a Ford. But yeah, it was a fun race to watch. I liked watching it. And the only problem is that it runs so late into the night that I had to catch up with some of the rest of it in the morning, when people had already been posting photos of Reddick and Buescher going at it, like, after the race. And to be fair, I understand why Buescher would be annoyed. But at the same time, the two of them were, shoving each other into the fence constantly. And Keselowski was in that a little bit. Larson put himself into the wall a couple of times. Yeah, it was quite the race. It's one of those ones again. Green stage 1, and then when one caution goes down in stage 2, suddenly we have a lot more cautions coming out. And the reasons for them were varied. Tyres going down, people just spinning out, people getting into the fence. There were all kinds of different reasons for it, but overall, I enjoyed it. It was a good one to watch, and even though not many of the schemes were properly throwbacks, I think even throwbacks to different series, like, for example, the winning number 6, was cool. And it's nice to see, even if it's for a one-off. I think, yeah, Hendrick probably swept it, though, with a choice from so many different bits of the back catalogue, but not necessarily championship year cars. Just cars that were recognisable. I liked that. I liked that, for example, Bowman had a Jimmy Johnson scheme from when he hadn't been doing the 5 in the row. That, for example, Byron had a scheme that was Jeff Gordon, but not from a championship winning season. I thought that that was a really nice touch to do and just go, we've been around for 40 years, this is all of the different things that we've done. You remember this, and you remember this, and you remember, oh, the Kellogg's car? Yeah, you remember that. But we're not going to give you, the Rainbow Warrior scheme. We're not going to do that, because that one's done to death. I thought that was nice. Especially with seemingly less and less people doing the throwback schemes. That was also cool. But let's talk about Ford. Because I didn't recognise until Eric Estep's video that Ford hadn't won in the top 3 series all year. Not just not one with the Dark Horse Mustang in Cup, but not one with the Mustang in Xfinity, not one with the F-150 in trucks. And I had a look through as well. They haven't won in ARCA. They haven't won in the ARCA Bernard series. I think that is utterly fascinating. And for Ford to do it now, just before we have the All-Star race, this is the last points paying race before the Coke 600. It's good. It's not great because it's taken them, half the regular season to get a win? But hey, 7,500 ends a regular season. Maybe Buescher can finally get a win. But Eric was chucking out these stats, like, for example, in the past 5 races, in 4 of them, RFK have picked up a top 2 spot. Brad getting 2 seconds in this win, then Buescher getting the 2nd place last week. Arguably, you could say he should have won. But that's racing, put simply. Just to wrap it up, let's have a look through the standings. So, Brad Keselowski jumps up to 11th in the regular season point standings now. Kyle Larson, unsurprisingly, is still out clear by 30 points from Truex Jr. Truex got 25th on the day. I didn't really see him that much over the course of the race. Hamlin up to 3rd, past Chase Elliott. Byron is in 5th. Then you got Reddick in 6th. Then Gibbs. And Gibbs is the runner-up. I mean, the kid's been performing well. My previous prediction was that he would win a race and that he'd make the round of 112. And I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be surprised if that did happen. I wouldn't be surprised if that did happen now, looking at him. He is just trending up. And sure, we've already had 2 JGR cars win this season, but I'm surprised that the other 2 haven't at this point. Other interesting stats from it included the fact that in addition to the wins that we've seen for Ford, not only that, but in the final standings, I think half the top 10 were Fords. Josh Berry, the rookie, was in 3rd. Chase Briscoe was in 5th at SHR as well. You have Rick Ware in 9th. Justin Haley, I think Eric Eastep said in this video that's their best finish outside of a super speedway. And then McDowell gets a top 10 for front row. McDowell, who is headed off at the end of the season, he's announced. And I think Brad Keselowski becomes the first winner to win for his own team since Spoke. But yeah, I'll just wrap it up by saying if the playoff started today, Briscoe, I think, would be the last one in. Chase Briscoe would be the last one in, yeah. Because Bubba Wallace is the 16th in the regular season point standings, but ahead of him is Bell, who's won, and a couple places below him is Suarez, who obviously won at Atlanta. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.